In any case, likewise with any eating routine, individuals some of the time quit losing before they arrive at their ideal weight. Here are the best 15 reasons why you're not getting more fit on a low-carb diet. 1. You are losing fat, you just don't realize it. Weight reduction is definitely not a direct procedure. On the off chance that you gauge yourself consistently, there will be days when the scale goes down and different days when it goes up. It doesn't imply that the eating regimen isn't working, as long as the general pattern is going downwards. Numerous individuals lose a ton of weight in the principal week on a low-carb diet, yet it is for the most part water weight. Weight reduction will hinder altogether after this underlying stage. Obviously, getting in shape isn't equivalent to losing fat. It is conceivable, particularly in case you're new to weightlifting, that you are picking up muscle simultaneously as you're losing fat. To ensure that you're losing, use an option that is other than simply the scale. Utilize an estimating tape to gauge your midsection perimeter and have your muscle versus fat ratio estimated each month or somewhere in the vicinity. Likewise, take pictures. Observe how your garments fit. In case you're looking more slender and your garments are looser, you are losing fat regardless of what the scale says. Outline. Weight reduction isn't straight, and there's much more to weight than simply muscle to fat ratio. Be patient and utilize different methods for estimating than simply the scale. 2. You're not cutting back on carbohydrates enough. A few people are more carb delicate than others. In case you're eating low carb and your weight starts to level, you might need to curtail carbs significantly further. All things considered, go under 50 grams of carbs every day. At the point when you go under 50 grams for every day, you will need to wipe out most organic products from your eating regimen, despite the fact that you can have berries in limited quantities. In the event that that doesn't work either, going under 20 grams briefly can work. At that point you are eating just protein, solid fats and verdant green vegetables. To ensure that you're truly eating low carb, get yourself a free online sustenance tracker and log your nourishment admission for some time. Synopsis. In the event that you are carb touchy, you may need to incidentally kill all high-carb nourishments and eat under 50 grams of carbs every day. 3. You're stressed all the time. Tragically, it isn't in every case enough to simply eat well and exercise. You have to ensure that your body is working ideally and that your hormonal condition is ideal. Being focused on constantly keeps the body in a consistent condition of battle or flight, with raised degrees of stress hormones like cortisol. Having constantly raised cortisol levels can build your yearning and longings for unfortunate nourishments, one trusted source. In the event that you need to curtail pressure, attempt reflection and profound breathing activities. Cut back on interruptions like online news, and read more books. Synopsis. Interminable pressure can effectively affect your hormonal condition, making you hungrier and keeping you from getting more fit. 4. You're not eating real food. A low-carb diet is about something beyond bringing down your admission of carbs. You need to supplant those sugars with genuine, nutritious nourishments. Discard all prepared low-carb items like Atkins bars, as they are not genuine nourishment and not useful for your well-being. Stick to meats, fish, eggs, vegetables and solid fats on the off chance that you have to get thinner. Likewise, treats like paleo treats and brownies can cause issues despite the fact that they're made with sound fixings. They ought to be viewed as incidental treats, not something you eat each day. It is additionally imperative to eat enough fat. On the off chance that you attempt to decrease carbs and fat simultaneously, you will wind up covetously ravenous and feel awful. Eating an eating routine with only protein is a poorly conceived notion. Low carb, high fat and moderate protein is the best approach on the off chance that you need to get into ketosis, which is the ideal hormonal condition to consume muscle to fat ratio. Synopsis. You have to supplant the carbs with genuine, nutritious nourishments. To get more fit, stick to meats, fish, eggs, sound fats and vegetables. 5. You're eating too many nuts. Nuts are genuine nourishments, no uncertainty about that. They are additionally extremely high in fat. For instance, about 70% of the calories in almonds originate from fat. Be that as it may, nuts are extremely simple to gorge. Their crunchiness and high vitality thickness enable you to eat a lot of them without feeling full. I for one can eat a pack of nuts and still not feel fulfilled, despite the fact that that one sack contains a larger number of calories than a supper. In case you're nibbling on nuts each day, or more awful, nut spreads, odds are you're simply eating an excessive number of calories. Rundown. Nuts have a high vitality thickness and are anything but difficult to gorge. In case you're continually nibbling on nuts, take a stab at dispensing with them. 6. You're not sleeping enough. Rest is fantastically significant for by and large well-being, and studies show that an absence of rest connects with weight increase and stoutness. 2 trusted source, 3 trusted source. An absence of rest can cause you to feel hungrier. 4. It will likewise make you worn out and less roused to practice good eating habits. Rest is one of the mainstays of well-being. In case you're doing everything right yet at the same time not getting appropriate rest, you won't see the outcomes you may anticipate. In the event that you have a dozing issue, see a specialist. They are regularly effectively treatable. A few hints to improve rest. Maintain a strategic distance from caffeine after 2 p.m. Snooze total haziness. Maintain a strategic distance from liquor and physical exercise over the most recent couple of hours before rest. Accomplish something unwinding before rest, such as perusing. Attempt to hit the hay at a comparable time every night. Synopsis. Rest is completely pivotal for ideal well-being. Studies show that an absence of rest can cause you to eat more and put on weight. 7. You're eating too much dairy. Another low-carb nourishment that can mess up certain individuals is dairy. Some dairy items, regardless of being low in carbs, are still quite high in protein. Protein, as carbs, can raise insulin levels, which drives vitality into capacity. The amino-corrosive arrangement of dairy protein makes it intense at spiking insulin. Truth be told, dairy proteins can spike insulin as much as white bread. 5 trusted source, 6 trusted source. Despite the fact that you may appear to endure dairy items fine and dandy, eating them regularly and spiking insulin can be unfavorable to the metabolic adjustment that necessitates to occur so as to receive the full rewards of low-carb abstains from food. Right now, milk and cut back on the cheddar, yogurt and cream. Margarine is fine, as it is low in protein and lactose and hence won't spike insulin. Rundown. The amino-corrosive organization of dairy proteins makes them spike insulin decently viably. Have a go at eating less dairy. 8. You're not exercising right, or by any stretch of the imagination. You shouldn't practice with the objective of consuming calories. The calories consumed during exercise are normally immaterial and can without much of a stretch be discredited by eating a couple of additional nibbles of nourishment at the following dinner. Be that as it may, practice is basic for both physical and psychological well-being. Exercise can assist you with getting in shape by improving your metabolic well-being, expanding your bulk and causing you to feel amazing. In any case, it's imperative to do the correct sort of activity. Only cardio on the treadmill is probably not going to give you great outcomes, and doing a lot of may even be adverse. Weightlifting, this will extraordinarily improve your hormonal condition and increment your bulk, which will assist you with getting more fit over the long haul. Interim preparing, doing high-force interims is a great type of cardio that supports your digestion and raises your degrees of human development hormone. Low power, being dynamic and doing some low-force work like strolling is a good thought. The human body was intended to move around, not sit in a seat throughout the day. Outline. The correct sorts of activity improve your hormones, increment your bulk and cause you to feel wonderful. 9. You're eating too many solid sugars. In case you're on a low-carb or ketogenic diet, solid sugars like coconut sugar or crude natural sweetener are similarly as terrible as plain sugar. They are high in carbs and can totally keep your body from adjusting to the eating regimen. This likewise applies to nectar, agave nectar and others. Zero-calorie sugars are fine for a great many people, however you might need to consider constraining them in the event that you experience difficulty getting more fit. They additionally regularly contain edible carbs as fillers. Synopsis. Regardless of being characteristic, sugars like nectar and crude pure sweetener are similarly as high in carbs as customary sugar. 10. You have a medical condition getting in your way. Certain prescriptions are known to invigorate weight gain. In the event that you take a gander at the rundown of reactions of the meds you are taking and see weight gain on the rundown, make a meeting with your primary care physician. Maybe there is another medication accessible that doesn't cause weight gain. In case you're doing everything right and still aren't getting results, maybe you have a fundamental clinical issue. Numerous hormonal issues can cause issues shedding pounds, especially hypothyroidism. All things considered, make a meeting with your primary care physician. Clarify that you're having issues shedding pounds and that you need to preclude any clinical issues. Outline. Certain clinical issues and drugs can mess weight up. See a specialist to talk about your alternatives. 11. You're always eating. It is an industrious fantasy in well-being and wellness circles that everybody ought to eat many little dinners for the duration of the day. This has really been concentrated altogether. No bit of leeway has been found to eating increasingly visit and littler dinners. 7 Trusted source, 8 Trusted source. It is normal for people to eat less dinners every day and in some cases go significant stretches without nourishment. A few people accomplish something many refer to as discontinuous fasting, eating in an 8-hour window every day or doing 24-hour fasts 1 to 2 times each week. This can be extremely helpful to get through a level. Synopsis. There is no demonstrated advantage to eating many little suppers for the duration of the day. Have a go at eating less dinners and consider giving discontinuous fasting a shot. 12. You're cheating too often. For individuals who can control themselves, having cheat dinners or days sometimes might be fine. For other people, particularly the individuals who are inclined to nourishment compulsion, having cheat dinners is probably going to accomplish more mischief than anything. In case you're cheating regularly, either with little cheats to a great extent or whole days where you don't eat anything yet lousy nourishment, it can without much of a stretch ruin your advancement. Having more than 1 to 2 cheat dinners for every week, or 1 cheat day, will be unreasonable. In the event that you just can't control yourself around undesirable nourishments regardless of what you attempt, maybe you have nourishment compulsion. All things considered, totally expelling the shoddy nourishments from your life could be a smart thought. Outline. A few people can eat low-quality nourishment now and again without destroying their advancement, however that doesn't have any significant bearing to everybody. For other people, cheat suppers will accomplish more damage than anything else. 13. You're eating too many calories. Toward the day's end, calories do make a difference. One of the fundamental reasons low-carb and ketogenic eats less are so compelling is that they decrease craving and cause individuals to eat less in general calories easily. In case you're not shedding pounds yet or doing quite a few things, take a stab at tallying calories for some time. Once more, make a free record with an online sustenance tracker and track your admission for a couple of days. Focus on a shortage of 500 calories for every day, which hypothetically should cause you to lose 1 pound of weight for each week, in spite of the fact that it doesn't generally work by and by. Synopsis. It is conceivable to eat such huge numbers of calories that you quit getting in shape. Take a stab at tallying calories and focus on a shortfall of 500 calories for every day for some time. 14. You don't have realistic expectations. By the day's end, weight reduction requires some investment. It is a long-distance race, not a dash. Shedding 1 to 2 pounds for every week is a practical objective. A few people will get in shape quicker than that, while others will get more fit all the more gradually. But at the same time it's essential to remember that not every person can appear as though a wellness model. Eventually, you will arrive at a solid set point weight, which might be above what you at first sought after. Synopsis. It is essential to have sensible desires. Weight reduction takes quite a while and not every person can seem as though a wellness model. 15. You've been cutting for a really long time. I don't believe it's a smart thought to be in a calorie shortfall for a really long time at once. The least fatty individuals on earth, muscle heads and wellness models, never do this. They do patterns of building and cutting. On the off chance that you eat at a calorie shortage for a long time or years, in the long run your metabolic rate may back off. On the off chance that you've been consuming less calories for quite a while, a 2-month time span where you plan to keep up and increase a touch of muscle might be what you have to kick things off once more. Obviously, this doesn't mean eating awful nourishments, only a greater amount of the great stuff. After these 2 months are finished, you can begin eating less junk food once more.